Thank you for tuning in to Words of Woods. I'm your host, T. Woods. Today I have two guests who will be discussing the sneaker culture, what it takes to run a store, and also the process of creating a custom shoe. I have Juice and DeRomeo with me today. How your boys doing?
Wonderful, bro. Wonderful. Thanks for inviting us out to your show.
Appreciate you for coming through Words of Woods, man. So, for the people who may not know you, tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and explain your upbringing, and where you're from.
I'll let DeRomeo go first.
Well, basically, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, as you. I grew up always loving sneakers, always into sneaker culture, buy, sell, and trade throughout high school, just hooking up my friends mostly. Came out to college. I stopped dabbling with sneakers, but I picked up customizing sneakers. And once I started customizing sneakers, I kept doing it. Moved back to Columbus again after college, and that's when I met Juice, and he had a shoe store. So I kind of got back into my reselling phase as well as still doing the custom sneakers.
All right, what about you, Juice?
I've always been a super shoe head, always had a lot of shoes, but I've just been a businessman. And then I've realized that the shoe game picked up to a whole nother level a couple years ago. So once I heard and learned about it, then I took the opportunity to open up my own shoe store, like a shoe pawn shop.
Okay.
And then ever since then, we've been off and running. I had a 1,000 square feet location about 2 years ago, and then we upgraded to a 3,000 square foot location now. We've had that for about a year and a half.
All right, that's pretty dope. So you guys both love shoes. What was the very first moment that you knew that you fell in love with shoes and also overall sneakers in the kick game?
For me, it would have had to been when I got my Sway Flu Game 12s, man. Just getting that shoe, I was excited just to be able to buy it with my own money, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that started a big phase of me buying more and more sneakers.
So is that your favorite shoe?
That actually, it's in my top three. Those and Black
What's your
Seaman
top
3s.
three? What's your top
Those
three?
Black Seaman 3s and Cool Gray 11s.
All right, what about you?
Me, I'm just a super shoe head. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I've been loving shoes since I was probably like in middle school, since I can remember. I like that feeling of just having a new pair of shoes and that smell you get when they come out the store.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So ever since then, I kind of just got addicted to it. Just as I grew up, and then I got grown. I remember all the shoes they start coming retro when they come back out with that my parents couldn't afford to go to the mall every week or every 2 weeks and buy a new Jordan or a new Nike. So as I got older, and then I was like, oh, I can go get these shoes that I remember that came out. So ever since then, I just been adding them up, and then.
So what's your
just
top
never
three?
stopped. Top three, I'm not. It's hard for me to really say top three. These 11s I got on now. These all red ones is probably nice. The black and red 11s, but as far as me go, man, I just like shoes. You know what I mean? I ain't really got top threes. You know what I mean? But I just love the culture of the shoe game itself.
So you guys have a sneaker store in Columbus, Ohio. Where's the location at?
5761 Karl Road. Make sure y'all come holler at us. We are open 12 to 7 every day. No days off. Every day we are buying, we're selling, and we're trading. 5761 Karl Road.
That's definitely dope. So what made you, want to have your own sneaker like pawn shop? And how was the process of getting that started? And, overall, how's it been having a store? What are some difficulties that you face? And what are some upsides, having your own shoe store?
I mean, it's like anything else. It's ups and downs, business, life, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's a very, very big culture. There's a lot of sneakerheads in there. And it's just like a pawn shop. Everybody needs cash, you know what I'm saying? So basically what our day entails of is we're there all day from 12 to 7. People come in all day. They need cash. We let them know, you have no sentimental value to these shoes because we're going to give you only 20 to 30% of what the market value is. And if you want quick guaranteed cash, then here you go. So that's just pretty much how we work. It's like, so we're the only ones that do it. So it's guaranteed money for your old shoes, your used shoes, your brand new shoes. Whatever it is, it's guaranteed cash there for you. It's just up to you if you want to take the amount and the value that we're willing to give you. Just like a regular pawn shop for jewelry, watches, or everything, they give you a certain percent of what they can sell it for. It's up to you if you take it. We're the same exact way, but we do it with tennis shoes.
I bet you guys come in there with like beaters and just like crazy.
Man, we see all kind of stuff. We see women's shoes, men's shoes, beater shoes.
What's the craziest shoe that somebody just come in there with, and just was like, oh, here, give me this for some money, and just looking at them like, okay, I can't do nothing with this.
You mean high end, or you mean like beater crazy,
Both.
just tear up?
Both.
We get some nice stuff. People get into financial binds. They can't fit them, or they with a girlfriend. They don't want her to have them no more. A boyfriend. They don't want him to have them no more. So we get a lot of those ones, and then we get some terrible
Beaters.
So
we get some shoes without soles, without insoles.
That's up to you though, man.
Smell
Can't you fix
terrible.
them? You can fix anything,
Yeah,
right?
I can fix it. I do restorations with the sneakers, but it depends on to the point of extent. If your shoes missing the top and the bottom, what I'm saying, ain't much I can work with.
You just gonna need a blessing in them, man. A blessing and a prayer. That's all. That's
You could
all.
trade them in and get something new.
All right, so you
Definitely.
guys have the store in Columbus, but you also go to a lot of sneaker conventions, all over the United States. How important is going to those sneaker conventions for you guys and for business and, you know, the things that you've learned and things that you've seen at these sneaker conventions that you go to?
It's very, very important, honestly. I mean, it's about your network is your net worth. So we're meeting a lot of heavy hitters. It allows us to bring inventory back to the store, and it allows us to get rid of inventory that we've been sitting on that the eyes in Columbus are sick of seeing and they don't want.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very big part of our market. This past weekend, we just got back from where we at this weekend? I forgot that quick. Charlotte, All-Star weekend, actually. Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend. Philadelphia last week, the weekend before that. Detroit the weekend before that. We're in Cleveland next weekend. I mean, it's every weekend we're somewhere. But half the team goes and travels, and the other half of the team stays and runs the store.
That's why you're open 7 days a week, man.
Exactly.
So what's one of the best places that you went to, you know, going to a sneaker convention?
I
I'll
love
ask both of you.
Miami. Personally,
Miami?
I love the city of Miami, so to be able to go to Miami, you know what I'm saying, live the life and still go to a sneaker show and, you know what I mean, make a nice bag, you know, come back home happy, you can't beat that.
What about you?
I ain't gonna lie, we just in Miami, about a little less than a month ago. So Miami's nice. Man, he got me. Florida, period, in general.
Atlanta's always a good one.
Atlanta's a good
We did
one.
Super Bowl weekend in Atlanta.
Yeah, we did Super Bowl weekend in Atlanta. That was a good one. I like Atlanta, the culture there.
Definitely. Shout out to
Who
you.
else is real good? As far as money goes and making good money, Philadelphia. Philadelphia comes, they turn up.
Why Philly?
That's a good question. I don't know what about Philly and the sneaker culture there, but they come. All the heavy hitters come. The kids come to buy. The resellers are in the building. So something about Philadelphia, they always come to show out.
So I've been to a sneaker convention. I think I went with you one time. It was in Columbus. Who is the people that buy the most? You know, little kids or older adults, middle-aged people. Like who buys the most at sneaker conventions, or it's a little bit of everything?
I would personally have to say the kids. The little kids buy a lot. You know, they'll buy a lot for their personals, take them to school, sell them to their friends. They'll buy like 5, 6, 7 pairs. They won't really care the size. But you've also got resellers. So like how we resell sneakers and people come to our store and sell, we get nice deals. Basically, we'll go to the shows and they're looking specifically to only buy. They don't come with shoes to sell. They'll buy a table and they'll bring boxes and basically they'll just walk around and purchase, over 100 shoes a lot of times just to take back and sell on these online websites and whatnot.
And 100 shoes, man, that's crazy.
Per person.
So, you know, with the sneaker culture being such a crazy, you know, having such a crazy impact in the world today, you know, in our generation today, how do you guys feel about the hype beast? You know, are some shoes, you know, okay, you know, you just to get because you know they're going to sell, or, you know, do you actually like them? Or, you know, how do you feel about the overall hype beast and just, you know, is that something that you're against or you're with?
Personally, I love the hype beast, you know. It depends. You love the hype beast when you're trying to sell. You know, when you're trying to sell the person who really wants that Supreme item, that Bape item, or that specific high-end shoe, you know, when they're thirsty for it, they'll spend a little more, on that shoe. Yep. But as far as when you want that personal, when that shoe come out that you remember back in the day when it came out, you're trying to get it, and it's a hype beast in front of you taking your size, it might make you feel some type of way.
How you feel about the hype beast?
It's cool, man. You know what I mean? It's to each his own. For example, this is a hype beast hoodie, anti-social club, but to each his own. You know what I mean? I don't really hate it. Obviously, it makes me money, yeah. but the money that we really make is not from the hype beast lane, yep. Per se. So, but there's hype beasts out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's something you got to get into when you're in the shoe industry. Yeah, it's different than when I was growing up. To see these kids. Kind of back to the question you had asked us earlier about who spends more money. The hype beast, you got the kids, the teenagers, you know what I mean? But the money that we see these kids spending on hoodies and T-shirts and baggies and man purses and all that is crazy, man. A hat, you know what I mean? So I definitely got no problem with it. You know what I mean? It makes us money, but it's not really the lane that we capitalize the most money on. But it's definitely a lane, you know what I mean?
Speaking about capitalizing off a lane, you got the hype beast, or you can shop local. Shout out to Made to Succeed. I see that you have the Made hoodie. That's you're a part of Made. So what made you want to, build your own brand and, be a part of that?
Well, when we were younger, we always had this thing calling ourselves self-made, to be self-made, to be able to provide for yourself, you know what I mean? So kind of dropped the self part of it with making the clothing line and then just created Made to Succeed. And it's anything that brings you to that point in your life to brings you to the point of success, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much what we stand for. And then I've always been with the artistic stuff and, You know,
I
always
see,
wanted, always like fashion. So to be able to put your own art on some clothing, you know what I mean, and call it fashion, it's always been a good thing.
Definitely creative. He's also the reason I have this right here. I know you guys seen it a bunch of times. But you also do sneaker customization, and I know that you brought some shoes as well.
Oh yeah, I definitely.
What you got for us, man?
Just something I was working on last night. I wanted to make something, real crazy for you, but didn't have enough time, so I got to bring these on in. It's I'm not all the way done with them. I'm gonna add a little more. This one's like a salmon color with a little tan on it.
What size are
And
they?
then these are a 10.
So I can keep them, right?
We might be able to work something out. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the process like, making the shoe and customizing the shoe? Is it hard? I mean, obviously it's something that you're passionate
If you have an
about.
artistic ability, it's not really that hard. It's all about the time that you take into your prep. When you take time to tape off and prep your shoe and make sure that there's no crevices where you're missing at, when you finally go to paint it, it's a lot easier, when you take your tape off and it's looking real crisp. If you're kind of lazy with it, like almost anything, kind of lazy with it, don't put a lot of effort in the beginning, when you take that tape off, you're gonna have a lot of runs and a lot of cleanup process.
What's something that annoys you, making this shoe,
Something
and trust me, I've had some work done by you. The kicks I have on right now, they're done by you. And I know I'm calling your phone like, hey, did you get them done? Did you get them done? Did you get them done? But I trust you and know that, you always get the job done. But what are some difficulties, making the shoe?
Difficulties, I have to go with just the being up late. A lot of times, doing a pair of shoes, if you don't feel like doing it, it's not really going to be the same as when you feel like doing it. If I'm not in the mood to do a pair of shoes and I'm still doing them, I really have to, I don't even know how to describe. I had to put myself in that mind frame, you know what I'm saying, to really feel like doing it and get that artistic ability going.
I mean, the goal is to satisfy the customer. So
Most
sometimes
definitely.
you probably got to spend them late nights, early mornings, to get the job done.
Often.
Speaking of goals, what are some goals for you to in the future? Where do you want to be at 5, 10 years from now? Do you still want to, be involved with the sneaker game? Do you want to open up a bigger store, have multiple stores? What are some goals? We can start with you.
To be honest with you, we actually opening a new store. Grand opening is the 16th of November. I mean, not November, sorry, March. 16th of March, we open another store. It's in Newark, Ohio. Sorry, I don't have the address on top of my head. I think it's 1643 Cherry Valley Road. But somewhere in the 1600s on Cherry Valley Road, we open another store in Newark, in the corner of Newark and Heath, Ohio. So that's coming next month already done. Paperwork's done and signed. Keys in possession. We the goal through the grace of God, what I'm working on is to have one in Houston, Texas that my man Rome will be running, and then Atlanta, Georgia. So that's within the next year or two. That's the next big ones. Will be Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and one more in Columbus on the east side.
That's lit.
So them was all in the process as we speak, honestly.
I see where my sponsorship's gonna be coming from, man. So what are some goals for you, Rom? 5, 10 years from now, where you see yourself?
It's definitely that store in Houston. I see me starting like a big part of my life in Houston, taking off with the made, man, to be completely honest. Like, I'm talking about every day, every week I get more and more orders. Just being able to get to that point where I'm able to upkeep with, 1,000 orders in a week, you know what I mean? Something like that. And just to really have my own made store as well and manufacturing company. Take it big.
That's pretty lit, man. You could do it, man. Just keep putting that work in. Where can people follow you guys at on social media?
Personal account is stay_in_your_lane_ENT. But by the time you put in the stay_in_, it'll pop up. But yeah, stay_in_your_lane_ENT. And then the store page is Addicted to Kicks. And it's a K instead of a C. Addicted to Kicks.
What about you?
And then you can follow me for my custom page, Soul Council, SOLE_COUNCIL. And then for the Made to Succeed page is made_to succeed.
Definitely appreciate you guys for coming through
No
Words
problem,
of Woods
appreciate
today,
your
man.
love, man.
Best of
Good
luck
looking
to you,
out.
brothers, man.
Most
Keep
definitely.
doing your thing. Keep putting in work. Make sure you guys go shop with them as well, man.
Sure, please do, man. Good looking.
Special thanks to Juice and DeRomeo for stopping by Words of Woods today to discuss the sneaker culture. Make sure you go shop with them. Until next time, see you later.